This is the first album, 6 years?
Yeah.
Has it been?
Yeah.
Are we going to get 6 years of life, within this album?
Yeah, I mean, this one's a very different Miguel. It's like, and I would say different in that the motivation for this album is probably bigger, and it definitely marks like a new cycle, a new something, and it's not so. I think the themes are different.
What's going on? My name is Brew. This is an Audacy check-in. So excited to have a very special guest in studio today, Miguel. What's going on?
What's up, bro, man? How you doing?
Doing amazing. Happy you're here. How is your back?
Right.
I am so intrigued by this.
Yeah, it's fine. Actually, it's a trip. The first couple times doing suspension, it was with hooks. It was with like traditional hooks.
Yeah.
And because of the weight distribution, and I think the surface area that they cover, it takes a little bit longer because it's more hooks to sort of distribute the weight evenly. Whereas the last time I did it, which was publicly or whatever, it was just two hooks and the bars basically cover the entire surface area. So that takes a tremendous amount of like weight and pain off of the process, off of the experience, and so I filled up really well. Now it's just like Neosporin, every night, all the traditional things. But yeah,
that's crazy. That's all it takes. Just a little bit there, here and there, maybe an Advil.
Little time.
What inspired that? It was just like you explored it, and you're like, I want to do it this way.
I remember seeing like Jane's Addiction, Dave Navarro, seeing these guys just kind of, it was fascinating, and I had it in the back of my mind as something, and I had written a song that was really painful, and for whatever reason, this meditation after that just brought that up as like, the song is about pain, is about really deep pain, and just in the wild ways that we connect ideas, it just came up, I guess, as a possible way to do something. And I was thinking of creative ways to step outside of traditional performance of the songs. So I was thinking of performance art and ways to kind of just engage in a more symbolic and less performative way, more about creating conversation and doing things that really made the viewer sort of attached to the memory.
Wow.
Yeah, we did it.
It's deep. I didn't know it was that deep. Physically and metaphorically.
Right.
Yeah. I'm so excited to touch on your new album, everything you've been working on. Obviously, we're still playing Sure Thing on the radio every day. Love that song so much. It's got to be one of the only ones that blew up on MySpace and TikTok.
Right.
What do you think that says about just your music and what it says about you?
I can't even take credit. But what comes through, I think, is more about trusting that what is deeply emotional is coming from a much bigger place, and your practice is sort of the lens through which that bigger thing comes through, and so Sure Thing is one of those songs that I think is like such a reflection of the masters that I studied, that I got to listen to growing up. And I think of Stevie Wonder when I think of the chorus. It's like, even when the sky comes falling, even when the sun don't shine, is like such a reflection of As by Stevie Wonder. And then I think of the lyrics in the verses. If you beat a cash, I'll beat a rubber band. At the time, culturally, we were hearing, a lot of Southern hip hop was in the South. It was an emerging sound, and we were getting a lot of that. So, Lil Wayne was really making his mark as a real leader, as a real MC, and he was dropping mixtapes all over the place. And so his approach was very much an inspiration there. He's an incredible songwriter. I think of Gamble and Huff. I think of Diane Warren. So it was these sorts of like titans and just incredible musicians and artists that I was studying and were a part of what I was paying attention to culturally, that were just that made their mark, and I was, filtering that. And I think the message really is the message is the biggest thing, that love is very much is two people, or it's everyone showing up, as they are, and when things work almost in symbiosis, it's like two contrasting things. If you beat a catch, I'll be the rubber band. If you beat a match, I'll be a fuse. Like if you're the lyric, then I will be the melody and lyric. And paper and pen is like, pen without paper is a tool that almost has no purpose, and paper without pen, is an empty canvas. But the two together, I mean, then you're communicating. Now you're telling stories. Now you have opportunity to touch and build and convey in ways that you never could with just one. And so I think that message is what comes through the song, man. But
yeah.
It's really a testament to the writers that got to study.
That's why I love that, first of all, with TikTok too, being like powered by the people, I think is so important.
Facts.
That they're the ones that are rocking with your song and everything. And then also you mentioned like the symbolism in the lyrics, like that whole trend was focusing on those exact lyrics. So, I mean, it's like the biggest compliment to you, especially to have it first go, viral on MySpace and now on TikTok, and also be resurrected by the people, which is, incredible. So congratulations on that. We're so excited for this next chapter, though. This is the first album, 6 years?
Yeah.
Has it been?
Yeah.
Are we going to get 6 years of life, within this album?
Yeah, I mean, this one's a very different Miguel. It's like, and I would say different in that the motivation for this album is probably bigger, and it definitely marks like a new cycle, a new something, and it's not so. I think the themes are different, and this album I think is for anyone who is going through their own sort of like transformation. Because this album is not like a background music album, Sometimes I wish I made that album, because it's the kind, those kinds of albums are the ones that
you gotta be
like
paying attention, is what you're saying.
I mean, it's kind of. The songs are really like confronting.
Yeah.
But for times where you're really trying to push through, or you really want to feel your feels and be in your feels, I think this album feels that way. I think that there's a lot of energy on this album that is able to take the challenge and hopefully help push through. I mean, it's a very manic album.
Love that energy. Well, it's so good to see you like out and about. What else is on the calendar? Like what's on 2023 here coming up for you?
2023 will round out the year with art. I'm working on artworks around the music.
Absolutely.
And then we'll do a traditional tour top of next year, and then we'll, if it's up to me, move into film. I'll kind of go back into acting, and I think I'll mostly be focusing on producing film.
Dude, good luck with everything for like the rest of 2023.
Thanks, man.
I feel like we could talk for hours about stuff, but I just can't wait for people to hear the album. Is there any last message for your fans? Anything I missed?
No, man, do something that makes you happy, that you love every day.
Thank you, Miguel, for stopping by. Audacy check-in.
Yeah.
We'll see you soon.
We'll see you soon, man.